Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody is doing great today. All right, we'll just give everybody a minute. Hello, Tamara. How are you? And I see that there are a couple more people on, but I'm not getting their names. Hello, Lorraine. Tell me hello if you're watching and where you're watching from. Hello, Nadine. How are you? I'm still drinking my tea. It's a rainy, drizzly day out there today. Yes, Tamara, it is raining. It's not pouring, but just kind of windy and rainy. We need the water though. Hello, Jennifer. And definitely cooler than it has been. Hello, Debbie from Niagara. Not wet there, Lorraine. Yeah, it looked really cloudy yesterday, but it didn't end up raining here. But I know some other places got thunderstorms. It's for there to, yes. Yeah, maybe a ponytail day. Hello, Julie. We are going to play with these click art markers. I was at the Edmonton Carnival and I was at the Zebra Pen booth doing some demos, and we sold out of these immediately, so quick. And oh, it's very hot and dry where you are, Debbie. I'm not sure if you're wanting rain or not wanting rain or enjoying the heat. I know we've been enjoying some nice weather, but really needing some rain. So I thought I would give you an idea of how these work. This is a similar make and take that I did at the Edmonton show, but a little bit different. And Sandy has these click art markers in the store. They're a set of 12, and she can definitely order more in if they sell out and you would like some. So I find that the key to these definitely is using a like a Bristol smooth cardstock or a smooth watercolor cardstock. The bumpy cardstock, they don't seem to move around as well on. And I think, like anything else, your paper, depending on what technique or what you're doing, is definitely the key. So that's what I would recommend. You picked up some more. The new highlighted. Oh, nice. Highlighters. Okay, yes, the mild liners. There's some new colors. We were playing with mild liners as well. Lots of fun. So before I start, let me give you a look at this. This is Hero Arts. It's called Flower Market, I believe. Yeah, Flower Market Bold Prints in the tiniest printing ever. And it is a really nice background cling stamp. It's a rubber. Stamps very nicely. And you have all these different images. You could stamp the whole thing and color it. Right here, I'm just giving you an idea of how to stamp a little portion and color it. You could stamp it and then just color one flower to highlight out of it. So there's lots of options for this. So it's very pretty. And then this is one of the Lisa Horton Budding Blooms embossing folder. She has a bunch of the 3D embossing folders. And this one is just gorgeous. So I grabbed this one to use. We are also going to use a little bit of lunar paste. Lunar paste is so fun, and there's so many things you can do with them. So we'll use that. Let me put this aside for 1 second. I'm going to show you some mini book kits that we have, and we had at Carnival. We still have a few left. Plus we have dewdrops. These exact bottles aren't in the store, but there's a bunch of new stock of dewdrops in different mixes, different sizes and colors. Very pretty. So, oh, and I also wanted to show you guys this. This is called Amadex, and it's ink and stain remover. And so, obviously you're not going to craft with this, but when you're crafting, you're probably going to get, ink or something on something. And this had really great reviews. So Sandy brought this in, and it removes all these things: Sharpie, grass, crayon, ink, dye, chocolate, and wine, which of course is necessary for crafting as well. And hopefully not blood, but you never know. Sometimes crafting accidents happen. So this is in the shop, and it's a really great stain remover. So you just open the bottle, dab a little bit on, the instructions are there, and there's a sheet of instructions. So if you're looking to have something, even just to carry in your purse, this was a good one to have. All right, so I have some fabulous albums to show you. So I'm going to give you a look. First, we'll look at this one, and this is $64.95. Yeah, so $64.95 in the shop, and you're going to get the papers and the album and the instructions on completing this. And so you've got one of these really beautiful snap albums. Jenny put this together. That's Stacy's sister, and she helps us do some beautiful design stuff in the shop. So this is a little pocket that you can add the photo to. And when you get the Simple Stories books, all the instructions are there. And then you just use like your own ribbon, but the main things are there. So these are chipboard frames. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit and move this so I can give you the full view. And these are always so nice if you have a particular event that you want to add pictures to. This is a really nice soft color scheme. Or I have given these to people and either printed some photos off for them to add, or given it to them so that they can add their photos as well. And Sandy said the inventory is still in the process of getting updated because we just got back from Carnival. And you can still place your order. If anything's out of stock, then she'll let you know right away. And she's going to just take a little break, get everything sorted out, but the shop is still open to place the orders. And new product is coming soon to the June 1st area in the website. I'm just going to have a little drink of my tea. It is a lot of work getting everything ready for Carnival, definitely, and then sorting out stock, and then getting everything in, and there's lots of new products coming in as well. So exciting, but we just need to have a little bit of patience and know that all those fun new things will be there. So let's just do a little flip through. So this is called Here and There, this album. It is beautiful. And Sandy, if you're still there, maybe you can let me know, because I forgot to look, the price on the Echo Park and the Berryfield albums that I will show. So they've incorporated the ephemera in here. And I think these are a really great way to learn how to do a mini album by following their instructions. And then you can sit down with your own products and make another one following that. Do you have the price on the Berry Fields or the Be Happy album? I just forgot to look at what the price was, and I will show those in a minute. This is beautiful. Love this paper. Love the color scheme. This is a Simple Stories line. And the Simple Stories albums, if you like them, they come with all these dividers and an assortment of pages and pocket protectors. So you've got the 6x8. Hello, Vicki. That's beautiful. And then I like putting them together and just putting the white in here. Jenny's done the same thing, but if you have photos in mind, you can put them in as you're creating, or you can go back and then fill in the photos. So this is kind of like a travel line. Very beautiful. This would be nice too for any kind of summer adventures. And look, there's a little pocket in here. That's so cute. And these chipboard pages are really sturdy. They've incorporated the matching enamel dots. And so this one, I believe Sandy has put this on the website right now. This is cute. And oh look, this is cute with the little luggage tag connected onto the binder. Colors are very pretty. And then I think she's added some white lines with a pen. The Sakura Jelly Roll pens are great for that. So lots and lots of areas to put photos. That is very beautiful. She did a lovely job putting that together. All right, so that's our first mini album. This one is $64.95. Then we've got this one is Echo Park Be Happy line. I know we do have some of the Be Happy line in the shop as well, and this one is the kit. And let's see here, at 55. Thanks, Sandy. And that's for both of them, I think. Are they each 55? Sorry, I should have checked that before I went live. So these are made with the flip book. And I put these together, this one and the next one that I'm going to show you. And they're available as a kit as well with the instructions of what to put on each page and whether to pop it up. And then you will get these really nice chipboard elements. Okay, so this is 55, and then the Berry Fields I'm going to show you is 55 as well. And exactly what pages to cut. Look at these cute little bees. These are chipboard bees, plus you get a 6x6 piece of gold glitter paper that you'll see used throughout. And then there's a list of any supplies that you would need. And it's not a lot. Most things you probably have in your stash. So we've got some little interactive elements here and these cute little bee images. And the flip book comes with 10 pocket pages in various sizes. So you end up with, there's 20 pages here in this book, if you count like front and back. And there's lots and lots of area to put photos in. Plus with these flip books, they open up, and so you could add more pages. You can add as many pages as you want, and I'll show you what I did with the binding, just so that it lays a little more flat rather than being on an angle. All right, let's see. Just going to zoom in a tiny bit there. So this is one of the 6x8 pages, and we've got ephemera, which includes like some journaling and some tags, and then there's a sticker sheet, 12x12 sticker sheet, and you are left with paper after this kit. So you have enough that you could do extra cards, extra layouts, definitely. It's a really good deal for this kit. We've got some Spellbinders gems there, as well as the cute little bee sprinklets that you'll see that come with these black and yellow. And then you can see that gold is throughout. It's a really cute line. Hello, Edna. We've got a flip up page here. And so with your instructions, you're going to get each page photographed and a list of everything to put on your page and whether to pop it up. There's the little bee from the bee sprinklets. This is very cute. I love the color scheme too, that they've added the gray to this. And it's fairly neutral with the yellow and the gray and the black. And so I think you could add whatever color in your photos would match really nicely. We've got lots of layering happening with the stickers and the ephemera. So again, you could complete this book and then have a really good idea about how to do another book with a 12x12 collection pack. So you get the whole pack, collection pack with this. There's another little flap. And super cute. And I even made a little shaker. Got a little shaker in there, which is a great way to use extra little sequin embellishments. So for the binding, just give you a look at this. And that'll be the same for the next book I'm going to show you. I just went through, and you could add foam tape, or I just had some fun foam, and I cut strips of it on every second page and then hole punch through. If I was using the roll, this roll fits perfectly. The scrapbook adhesives by 3L, that fits as well. But I wouldn't go over that. I'd stop it and then skip the hole. I wouldn't try to punch through the foam tape if I was using that. And so just by putting it on every second page, I'll show you the spine. So this goes together really easily. And that's what I mean by you're able to add more books or more pages if you wanted to. So the flip books take a different size page than the snap binders that we saw with the last one. So then you end up with a nice flat book because you have that extra dimension in the spine. All right, so that is the Be Happy. And then let's have a look at the Berry Fields. And the Berry Fields is one of my favorites. I love the summertime feel of it and the colors and the strawberries. Strawberries, I think I've seen on lots of things, super popular. So you're going to get a half of a paper pack, half of the 6x8 paper pack, and you're going to use it up. And we're going to get a 12x12 sticker sheet, some chipboard stickers. You've got some clear Studio Cadia dots, and we've also got half a pack of the enamel dots as well. And then you have a 12 by 12 sheet of the elements, the 4 by 6 elements. So I've got a little pocket there. And I love the references. I love you, a bushel and a peck. So cute. And just by notching some paper out, you can make a little pocket. So again, we have those pocket pages that come with the flip book, and you're going to have the instructions on which page to use where and what products, whether it's stickers or ephemera or chipboard, and what size photos as well are all listed. So you can go through and add your photos in as you're going, or you can just add in your paper and then go back with photos. Or if you have different sizes too of photos, then you can definitely work those in. I love the vintage look. And Simple Stories, their vintage, simple vintage lines always go really quickly. I like the truck, and the milk caps are so nice. And that wood paper. So if you love this paper, you'll definitely want to look for more of this in the shop. And this is a nice way to show you how to use up a lot of your paper and stickers. Those bees are still super popular. And I love the bikes and the Viewmaster. I actually have a Viewmaster and Viewmaster reels that my uncle gave to me when I was like 5 or something. So they are definitely vintage. So you've got 20 pages again here, and that kit is $55, and it is in the shop as well. And that's Berry Fields is the kit. Those are great too if you just feel like taking them, if you're going to a crop, or if you just want to sit down and create and don't want to have to come up with, everything that's new. This is not a kit, but this is created with the Echo Park Dream Big Little Girl, I'm pretty sure that it's called. It's a really cute collection. So this just kind of gives you an idea of how you could use that collection. Again, using the flip book. There's a little boy collection as well that you could do. And have some interactive elements there. There's chipboard and stickers. Really, really cute. I love the little tent. And then the soft colors that they have. It's not overly super like purple, pink, girly look. It's that muted kind of pretty, almost like a dusty pink. And the soft blue. And I think you could even mix this collection with that Echo Park Be Happy as well. So you've got some elements, a few bee elements. You've got some unicorn elements. This just kind of shows you how you can use a cut apart piece that is a 4x6 journaling. And I think it was a little while ago that I put this together, but I think it was probably using the collection pack and the stickers that were in that. And then I even put They have some strawberries in it. There's a lot of different elements in this. Like there's the sunshine and the clouds, the strawberries and the lemons. And so I pulled out some of these little lemon and strawberry. I think they might have been from Paper Rose, but there's also the sprinklets and the sparklets, or whatever they're all called, embellishments. There's so many fun ones that you can mix and match. Hello, Teresa. And then I really like this little alphabet wall hanging that they have. There's paper. And then another little flap. And this little bunny, she's my favorite. Dream Big Little Girl. That's the collection. So this isn't a specific kit, but it is using the Dream Big Little Girl line. And if you like that line, you can definitely do something similar. Or if you pick up one of those other kits, then it gives you an idea of how to put that together. So that is the kits. And now let's make our card. I don't think I have anything else new to show you. And like Sandy said, she's getting everything put back in the shop and reorganized. And I need to take this sweater off. All right, we've got lunar paste. We have our card here. We're going to make this little interactive card. This is so easy to make. And sometimes Scrap Shotz signs us up for, the girls up for some retailer classes. So Sizzix actually had a retailer class, but they had this fold, and it wasn't a die that they used, but I thought it was such a cool fold and such a great way to showcase like a focal image and have a cute little card. So I'm going to give you the measurements for that. And let's see. Okay. I have our stamp, our bold print Flower Market stamp from Hero Arts, and that's stamped on Bristol Smooth cardstock. I also grabbed this. This is kind of worn and used, but it is similar to the new mat that Tim Holtz and Tonic just brought out. And so if you pick that up, it's large enough to cover your whole glass mat and works really nicely for adding like mixed media and cleaning up really easily. So I was using this and I thought, I'm just going to pull this out. If you like these kind of mats that are kind of grippy on the back, then check out that mat. And it's a Tonic mat, but I can't remember the exact name of it. And if you can't find it, then let me know and I will definitely find that for you. So these are the Click Art markers, and they are water-based marker, and they don't have a cover. So you just click them and they don't dry out. The technology in them prevents them from drying out. I've had these for about 3 years and I haven't even had one dry out, and I've used them a lot. So I've done a lot of watercoloring with them. You can use them just as a marker, but I really like using them on the smooth cardstock to color on. So let me zoom in, and I'm assuming no one's commenting, but if anyone is, I am not seeing anything, but maybe just give me a hello if you're still there and all is good, so I can just know that nobody's asking me questions. I'm not ignoring them. So when I'm coloring with these, What I do is, so I've got it stamped. This is with Altenew Obsidian Black ink, which is my favorite ink to stamp doing any watercolor. Okay, good. Thanks, Lorraine. I assumed everyone was just like watching. This is so nice for stamping with, or it is waterproof. And if you want to stamp and be able to watercolor with it, it's really nice. So when I'm coloring, it's super easy, and I just start and do the area that I want to be kind of my darkest area first. And I am by no means a professional colorer. I just do what looks good to me, and I usually I've got a water brush here, and then I have like a paper towel, and I'll do a few at once, and I start where I put the color down, and then you can see how beautifully that blends out. And I just blend it, and sometimes if I want it to be a little bit darker at the base, then what I'll do is just tap the color off, and then I can bring a little bit of color, but you can see how it's softer at the end. So it just lets me get that little bit of variation in color, and that's kind of what I like. I wanted it to be softer at the end, and it blends so nicely, and you can really watercolor quickly. You're enjoying, well, I'm glad. So when I was demoing these with Zebra Pen at the Edmonton Carnival, they were sold completely out. And it was like an hour in. And so my make and take, similar to this, but I was only using two colors. So I just did green and purple. I had to come up with a different make and take because whenever someone tried them and used them, they bought them, which is good. But you can't really mess up. Like it looks beautiful. And I think this is just kind of a nice, relaxing thing to do. I like taking this if I'm going to Erica's soccer game, just taking something to color while I'm sitting there. And it's so easy. I usually have a little clipboard that I bought from the dollar store, and then I just have whatever I'm coloring clipped kind of onto that or just sitting on it. And I just color away while I'm at her game. And then I can come home and put things together or have things colored that I want to eventually turn into a card. And you really get the idea of how you want to blend. If you just want to blend it and you don't want to tap anything off the color, just do what you're comfortable with. And then you can play around with it for sure. All right, so for the middle of these flowers, what I did, we might not color the whole thing today, but I'm going to show you how I at least put each color on. I put the yellow on, and then I grabbed a little bit of orange, and I'm just drawing a little bit of a line. This is really pretty forgiving. And then I start at the yellow. If you don't want to have everything blended together, you don't want to blend the whole thing at once. So I would blend the yellow, and then I would come in and kind of move that orange around, and you can see how it just gives you that darker shadow. The Bristol Smooth is also pretty good at taking the water, and so unless you're adding a lot of water, you really wouldn't have to wait a long time. Another product too that's really great with these is the Vicki Boutin foundations paper. That works really well as well. And I do a lot of coloring with that. So I'm going to take the pink and we'll do these little, I think they look like tulips to me. And I don't think you need to really worry whether something is a leaf or, a flower, because it's just kind of everything all together here, and whatever you color in, it's going to look fine. If I colored these as leaves, that would still look great. So you can see I just scribbled on the color, and then just like where we blended the yellow and the orange, you could do that with this too if you wanted to add a little bit of blue or a little bit of purple to it. It's great for mixing the color. Okay, and then I've got this light green here. Hello, Rosie. Oh, and I forgot, Rosie, our new challenge is events, right? Our new Scrap Shotz paper crafting group challenge, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong. Events, so birthdays or graduations, or you can scrapbook them, you can make a card, anniversaries, Canada Day, any kind of event you want to add. So I'm just adding this green where I think it would look good, kind of where the leaves are, the main leaves. There's a few areas here that maybe are leaves, and I have left some areas open in the back just as white, but you could fill those in with like a gray or a blue or green, as if the leaves were in the background. I'm going to actually let's do these. I don't know, these could be petals or they could be leaves. Like I said, I don't think it matters. And the nice thing about flowers is that I think they can be any color you want. So we're going with kind of a bright pinks and purples. And I also like that you can just scribble on that color. And then maybe I'll even put a little bit of orange. Weddings, that's right. Okay, Rosie just posted it in the Scrap Shotz paper crafting group. And so every month, over the summer, we might do like a 2-month challenge, but every time we have a challenge open, we'll let you know how long it is. It's at least a month long, and so just upload to the album in the group your project, and we love it if you tell us a little bit about it, or what you used. That's always fun as well. See that orange just adds a little bit of shading there. And then the winner will get a $25 gift certificate to the Scrap Shotz store, which is always fun. Everybody can always use a little bit of shopping money. And this is so super quick. But if you decided you didn't want to color the whole thing, I would, just stamp. Maybe if you stamp and you only colored one flower, that would look good as well. Or if you wanted to just stamp this on pattern paper and like a small print pattern paper, that would look pretty. Such a great stamp. Okay, let's do this one. I'm adding a few leaves in here, or what I think are leaves. You can also stamp it and then ink blend over it. That would be lovely. And I think we have time to color our flower. So let's just go back here. And there's really no wrong way. Like if you add shading to the end of the petals, that would look good as well. So how's everybody's week been? This week has just flown by. I feel like getting back from carnival and just getting into a regular routine again. It's been, and it's the end of the month, start of the new one, so there's a few things that I have to do that are, month end related. So got those done, and I feel like a couple more things to finish, and I'm just going to relax this weekend. The Edmonton Carnival was really fun. And I didn't think that I would know many people there, but I actually saw quite a few people. And Betty Dome stopped in. She was great to see. And Amy was working the door again, so she really enjoyed that, and meeting lots of people who knew who she was from Creative Scrapbooker magazine. All right, we're almost done this. And I think that the Lilac Festival, if you're in Calgary, is on Sunday. And we haven't gone for a few years, but I feel like going and just kind of, if it's nice out, getting out of the house, checking out the festival. All right, there's our, and we'll just put our little flower centers in. So if you have a small area, you can feel free to just color that straight in as well. So there's our beautiful flower. Yeah, lots of weddings I think happen in the summer, and probably, I know last year was pretty busy for weddings. My oldest daughter got married last June, and people were just kind of catching up from not doing anything for those couple years. So I'm sure probably this year will be busy as well. I have to make some teacher cards for my girls' teachers. So end of school, that could be an event. All right, so let me give you the measurements for these. I have it already pre-folded. Okay, we'll leave that there for a second. So I cut a piece of white cardstock 8 inches wide by 4 inches 8 inches long by 4 inches wide. And then I scored it at 4 inches. And then with my scoreboard, I took a pencil and made a line to give myself a line to line things up. Otherwise, it's hard to know, if you're trying to make a line where your paper isn't exactly lined up. This way, I can line up the fold of my card with the edge here. So I just lined this up. This would be your front panel. Sorry. This is going to be your front panel. So you're going to cut it 8 by 4, score it at 4, and then your score line for your easel is going to come from the top right corner, and it's going to go down to that fold line. So you would, however you like to do your scoring. Zoom out a little bit here. So you can kind of see I just scored from that top right corner and matched it up right to that fold line. So that's going to be your card base. And then you're going to fold your card. So having a bone folder is great as well. So this is the front of my card. You can see that score line. And then I'm going to fold this in. That's going to create our easel card, our easel fold. So this is going to be your fold, but it's still going to lay down flat to mail or to fit in your envelope. And I think mailing a square envelope is a little bit more expensive, so I would just put this into a regular A2 size envelope. I don't know why it's more expensive. All right, so that is our card base. Super easy. I've embossed what I did was cut a panel. You get a ruler, just regular white cardstock, and it is cut at 3.5 inches square, so a 3.5 inch square white piece of cardstock, and then ran it through with the embossing folder, 3D embossing folder. There's lots of 3D embossing folders in the shop, so anything would look nice. I liked the floral image on this, and it has really great dimension. And we used this for another make and take a few weeks ago. So we're going to use the Crown Me Lunar Paste. It's beautiful and shiny. You can see that shimmery effect. And so what I want to do is put just a little bit on. You don't need a whole lot. Put a little bit onto my mat here. And then I have just a foam dauber. It's stained, but it's clean. And I'm just going to add just a tiny bit of water to that. So if you chose different colors to color your card with, then you could choose, whatever kind of colors coordinated. I really like this method too for stenciling. So if I have a stencil, I'll do the same thing. Hair in there, we don't need. And I would rub it over the stencil. And I'm just going to lightly rub over the embossed cardstock for this kind of really pretty soft look. And I'm just rubbing lightly. If you wanted to really color the whole thing purple, you would just press a little bit harder and then you would have your whole piece of cardstock. I wanted it more to just hit those high points. And then the mica gives just a pretty shimmery shine. This also would look lovely over black cardstock. The lunar paste looks really great over black. So then we want to just give this a wipe, and then I'll just wash my sponge afterwards. And I find too, a little tip, if you know you can't get right away to wash your sponge, just stick it inside a wipe and leave it there, and then it won't dry up and harden. It washes out pretty nicely anyways, but it won't dry up and harden, and you can still wash it. So when I cut this at 3.5, this obviously isn't the exact match to that. After I embossed it, then I trimmed it down the center, and I'll show you with this piece of black cardstock. So that was cut at 3.5-inch square, and then this is cut at 3 3/4 inch. So 1/4 inch bigger, and then the front of our card is 4 inches square. So basically I'm just lining up the corners, it doesn't matter which one because it's square, on my trimmer. And then I've got these 2 triangles, and because this was a little bit larger, then it's going to fit. It's going to give us a little bit of a border, which is perfect. I think we'll go and get a few more plants this weekend too, and we'll get those planted and some planters on the deck. And we usually do some vegetables, but I think we're just going to stick to some flowers and some herbs this year. Does anybody do any community gardens? I know there's lots of community gardens in Calgary. Okay, so then we have our scored front of our card base, and we're just going to glue this down onto the front. And let me see if you can see that. Can you see that shimmer of that, the mica in the lunar paste? It's so pretty. I think that Rosie used some lunar paste in one of her demos. She did a demo with some Craft and Kimmy stamps and stencils. All right, so we've got our front on there. Thank you. Then this is going to be our little piece that we pop up. So I grabbed some of the later gator. I'm not sure. This is, I think, a little bit of an older one, so I'm not sure what is in the shop, but all I'm going to do is get a little bit out and just put it on this craft mat, and then try not to get my head in the camera. It looks so beautiful on black, and what I'm doing is just adding a little bit of a highlight of this green around the edge. If you decided you wanted to cover the whole thing, you could cover the whole thing. And I'm not squeezing any water out, but the water brush does have a small amount of water that comes out, so it's just kind of mixing with that, and I'm just using this to go around the edge. If you had some on a sponge, then you could put that around the edge as well. Because I think you can't go wrong with shimmer. Okay, so we'll just let that dry, and then to wipe this. I'm actually going to just get my little bowl of water and then I'll just rinse it. Otherwise, I would just squeeze out, but I don't want to squeeze out all my water. And I haven't had any issues with the lunar paste drying out at all. And I've used it quite a bit. And then we have the Hello. That's cut out of Bristol Smooth, but the Vicki Boutin foundation paper would work perfectly as well. And it's a nice thick paste. I'm reading Rosie's comment. It's a nice thick paper. Rosie said, I used lunar paste in all the make and takes. Nice. You really can't go wrong. There's so many ways to use it. So to create this ombre effect, I've got the Click Art markers. I'm just going to grab one more drink. And I'm just lightly coloring in the top of this die cut. So if you have any die cuts, with a word on them, this is a nice way to customize them to match with your project. And then I've got these Elizabeth Craft tweezers. I've really been liking them. So again, I'm going to start on the area that I colored and then just bring the color down so that it's darker at the top and then lighter at the bottom. And if you ever felt like, you missed a spot or you wanted them a little bit darker, you can also color on to an acrylic block or your craft mat and pick up your color to kind of add a little bit more. But once you start working with them, they're so easy to work with and you kind of really get a good idea of how you like to apply your color. And then I have my art glitter glue. The Tonic Nouveau Deluxe adhesive is really good too as a liquid glue. And then we'll just add this onto our black. You could make lots of different cards, lots of different sentiments with the same idea. Or if you wanted to stamp a little image, like some little image that you liked onto a die cut, then you could color that in and place that on the front as well. So I have my roll of scrapbook adhesives by 3L. Just going to grab my scissors. And I like these scissors because they are non-stick. They're the Tonic ones. So this is going to be the little area that pops up our card. And then our card is going to go on the front. And so what you want to do is position it for how you like the look of it when it's closed, instead of trying to figure out when it's open. So I like it right in the center. Hello, Mari, how are you? I like it right in the center, and then if I wanted it kind of so that my tulips were sticking up that way, then I'm going to lightly put my tape down, just make sure it's in the right spot when I put down my card. So my foam tape is only on this side. I don't want it attached to here because we want our card to stand up. And I love this tape. It's so easy to get the backing off of. Okay, so then I can just position this. And then it's only attached right here. I've got my dewdrops. There's a bunch of different mixes in the shop with different colors. I think there's some baby ones that are so pretty. They have such a really pretty mix of colors. All right, let's see. I've got 3 different ones here. And then I'm going to add 3 on. Liquid glue you can use. You can also use the really small glue dots. Those hold these really nicely. And I'm just doing them in a little bit of a triangle. There, so I just let those sit on there for like a minute. And then to set up our easel, we're going to take the back off of our tape. And then you want to position your easel so that how you would like it if it was sitting up, right? So that looks nice. And then I'm going to put the sentiment on just on an angle in this corner, and that's going to make sure that our card sits up nicely, but we can close it to mail it, and then we still have room to write a nice sentiment in there. So that is our pretty card. And then this stands up so nicely and looks so pretty when you're displaying it. So that is pretty much it. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to check out the new challenge, Events Challenge, in the paper crafting group. Don't forget to check out those albums, the Here and There, Berry Fields, and Be Happy albums, the kits that you can get in the shop. And just a reminder that Sandy's going to take a little bit of a break over the next week. You can still shop though, and then you'll be able to pick up your stuff or have it shipped out when she's gotten everything settled. Thank you for being here. Thanks, guys. And I hope you have a really great weekend. Hopefully the weather is lovely, and if you like gardening, you can garden or do some crafting and just take some time for yourself. So thank you. I will talk to you guys next Thursday. Bye.